Okay, hey guys. We're going to start because I have quite a bit of stuff I wanted to share with you, and I would like to still take some time just to chat at the end if we could. And rather than like putting this all in a post, sometimes I think they just get like pushed to the bottom of the page and it's hard to share all the information. But I don't know if I just like pieced two and two together or I just saw it, but Stacy and I and my success partner Kristen and some other coaches from Team 2.1 are doing the art of recruiting. And like you may have noticed, like this month we didn't do like a look into coaching event or group. And that's because Kristen and I both decided like it's just worn out. Like, and I remember last year, whatever I was doing with Val and Team Hope about the same time, like we've kind of been doing the same thing all school year, and then it just reached a point where it wasn't effective anymore. And Chris and I talked about like, is it because we weren't inviting enough people, which I think was part of it, but I also think people just get added to so many events, it just gets old. And so Josh Coates is just big on webinars. So like hosting webinars on like Webinar Jam. And so as part of this group that we paid to be in, he's teaching us how to do it. But the way he's teaching it is doing it the first time for us. And so next Tuesday, the 23rd, that is, next Tuesday, the 23rd at 7 p.m., me and all of my downline are allowed to invite to this event. But you can't share the link like on Facebook. You have to go to the event, which I'll post the event in our team page, and you either invite from there or invite in a personal message. So this is, you would invite people who are challengers of yours that are not coaches yet. You could invite discount coaches. You could invite people who you think should be coaches or people who are like on your dream team. But this would be like replacing for this month our squad goals, or gosh, what was the one before that called? I don't even know. But just like our look into coaching events. Oh my gosh, what was it called? No one can help me. It's going to drive me nuts. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. So he'll do the webinar, and it's called Rediscover Your Purpose. And then from that, like, we're supposed to kind of like take notes on him as a speaker, and he's going to give us his whole formula so that we can take whatever topic we want the next month and duplicate it. Does that make sense? So if you would like, if you have people who you think should be coaches, anyone you would invite to coaching, you should invite to this event, and I will post the link and like a little description about it and how I'm going to use it. And then basically what it is he'll just be online doing a webinar and like talking to all of us, kind of like a Zoom call, except it doesn't max out. And then people who said going but couldn't tune in will get like the replay link. And so this benefits him too, because he's going to get an email address from it. You know, so like then he would use those email addresses to run Facebook ads too. The whole thing I don't get, but it benefits him too. But he's doing it as like why you should be a coach on rediscovering your purpose, if that makes sense. So I'm excited to see how he does that, because I believe, like, I mean, he's my push coach. I believe in him. And if he says webinars are the way to go, they work well for him, so maybe they will work well for us. I just need to learn how to do it. But then once Kristen and I learn how to do it, we'll be able to host them again together. And it would just be different because I assume we would have to, I mean, and Kristen and I might not be able to do it together because like she has her whole like military mission and we have our like game mission. So it might not be something we'd be able to do together, but for sure we could as our team. So I'm excited to see that. And basically this has just been like a total learning week for me. I don't know if you've seen me post about like the UV2 group, which I never thought like I'd run a UV2 group. But I think there's a market for it. And Shannon and I have been talking about this. And we're actually doing it at Fit Club on Monday. And Carolyn told me I need to get out of my head and just do it. But if you haven't like heard about UV2, it's nice because he teaches the footsteps first and then the arm movements. So it'll be great for me because I'm super uncoordinated. But the group I'm running is with some coaches from Team Impact, and Anna Woods like orchestrated it all. And I have basically gotten nothing done today because the message thread has been going on all day, like crazy on the nutrition. Because if you listen to the national football, the UV2 nutrition plan is super simple. Like week 1, you just add Shakeology. Week 2, you just have a healthy breakfast. Week 3, you add in the healthy lunch. Week 4, you add in a healthy dinner. So it's good for those people who are like getting started for the first time, have a lot of weight to lose, coming back after a baby, an injury, etc. But the plan that Anna is using with it is like the anti-inflammatory, like ketogenic diet. And that is like what Chalene Johnson is doing in her beta test group. And that's basically what I did on the Ultimate Reset. And that's why it's really hard for me right now to post my meal plan or even my food, because I'm eating so much food and so much fat that it doesn't look fixed approved, and it's not. And for me, it won't be. Like, I talked to Stacey and Jen about this, and just like all the podcasts I'm listening to from Chalene and the resources they're giving me in this group, I'm really learning that like fixed nutrition, I think it's great for people just starting out. But our body can become resistant to it. And I've never been someone who's liked protein. And now I like, not just protein, but like meat. And now I realize like that was my body's way of telling me like my body doesn't respond well to it. And they said like even chicken can be inflammatory for some people. And that's why I felt so terrible last week during that clean eating week. I had chicken for lunch, chicken for supper, and I felt terrible. And so the nutrition plan that Anna's using with UV2 is basically nothing other than giving people the list of these are the foods that cause inflammation. These are the lists that for sure don't. And then here's a list that could. And it's your job to kind of like be your own scientist and experiment. And there'll be like information in that group, like how to do that and how to introduce and why, and sharing nutritional resources. But I don't know like when Chalene's plan is coming out or if Beachbody is going to grab hold of it, but I truly think like the days of like posting a meal plan and saying this is what you are to use are kind of probably going to be over. And like this is just another example of like we talked last week, like everything is changing because one, social media changes is what we talked about last week, but science is changing and we're learning more and more about our bodies. And I don't know if it was Annie or Lauren said, like they've had clients, and I've done this too, have said, oh, I'm following everything. I'm eating all these right containers. Why am I not losing weight? In the back of my mind, I was thinking like, no, you're not. Like I'm eating that and I'm losing weight until my body became resistant to it. And it didn't matter how hard I worked. I was not, for about a year, I didn't see any results. And now I'm kind of learning why. And so the nutrition plan on UV2 is going to be just like an anti-inflammatory diet. It's not going to be like a meal plan. And I didn't know, like, I don't know how to invite to that group because it's like, how do you target people like who need to lose more than 50 pounds? Because that is the requirement, if you will, for this group. So I would like, we're doing it like May 29th. And like, I know Shannon has someone interested, but if it goes well and like the resources work, it's something I would like to like maybe do like with our team down the line. But, when I first started, if I hadn't done the Ultimate Reset, I wouldn't have known anything about like anti-inflammatory foods and like researching detoxing and stuff. So if it's something that you're like way out of your element like I was and you're not sure, I would suggest that you download Chalene's, not the Build Your Tribe podcast. What's the other one? The Chalene Show. And like episodes 238 to current, like 11 episodes are all dealing with gut health, anti-inflammatory diets, the ketogenic, like how we, like now that, I don't know, like if you don't follow Annie and Lauren, you should, because they're already starting to post about how we said like, 3 meals, 2 snacks. Like that doesn't allow you to burn any like stored fat, because you're always burning the previous meal or snack. And it's like, you kind of feel like you've been teaching people wrong, but this is all new science. So it's, crap, I don't mean to play this. It's super interesting, but I have one more to listen to, one of the most recent ones, but now I'm going back and listening to them a second time. And then it would explain like a lot of like my thyroid issues. And I guess research says about like 80% of us have leaky gut, in America, which no surprise there. So I'm excited for that. So if it's something like you're like, at first I'm like, well, how is this going to fit into like what we do as Beachbody coaches? But I think it's just more proof to like listen to your own body. That's why I'm like, I don't get why I can't eat chicken. Like, I don't like chicken, but why is it bothering me? And it's just my body doesn't tolerate it. Others may. So do some learning on that, and I will post resources. I have them too. I've been talking to Jen and also to my friends at Camp Metigoshe about doing like 2 different team picnics this summer. One at Metigoshe, and hopefully maybe one in Bismarck if we can get it together. And I don't have any dates or anything, but the camp girl finally got back to me, and she's actually on our team. Jen, she's in charge of the high ropes course at Camp Metigoshe, and they would arrange like a morning or afternoon for us to do an open climb if we wanted to, as kind of like a team building thing. And it's super fun. Tyler and I did it twice last year, I think we've done it a total of 3 times. But it's like a great, I've never done it with I've done it with a group of people, but never a group of people I knew. I think it would be like a wonderful team building thing. And we would be able to go to 2 different pods. So basically like we would be able in that like 4 hours, I think, to do like 2 different climbs. So we would probably like do like a less advanced and a more advanced pod. We would just need to get her dates. I think that would be super fun. So that's something I'm working on. And I still need to get with Jen too on Bismarck stuff, but and then for Summit people, Summit is getting exciting. Tyler, do you want to share your updated plans?
Yeah, can I talk for about 3 minutes? Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay, so tonight I had time on the lawnmower, so I got to think about this, but it's important. I think people keep saying, the top coaches keep saying, we need to go to Summit. We need to go to Summit. And I think I know why a little bit after what I thought about tonight. And that's, I've listened to 2 books recently, GoPro, and most recently Start With Why. If you've not read that, you should. It's a huge game changer as far as what we do. But starting with why, I thought I knew my why. I thought I had it nailed down to exactly what why was and how to do it. Turns out biologically, our brains won't even share our whys because it's at such a deep level in our brain that we can't even verbalize it. It's not even biologically possible to verbalize our why. That's why I think Summit is so important, because you don't have to. All the stuff that you show from Summit is showing the why at a deeper level to people so that they just say, that I get it now. I'm willing to sign up. I'm willing to do this. They don't even have to be there. They don't have to, they just have to see it, because you can't explain it. You can't sit down when someone says, why do you do this? It's hard to explain, but you can show it. And so I think that's a huge reason to be at Summit. And that's why I went with the GoPro idea of screw it, let's do it. So we're going to go to Summit. We're going to try to do it as cheap as we possibly can. The plan right now is to drive to Minneapolis. The total cost to fly out of Minneapolis was about $50 more than driving all the way, which was my initial plan. and saving 30 hours of drive time for $50 was worth it, I think. So as of right now, anyone that is interested in getting in the car and driving down to Minneapolis with us, we're going to leave on the 11th late at night to get to Minneapolis just in time for the plane. Well, not just in time, but in time to get on the airplane in the morning. So we get down there for the first night, the 12th. Cost of the flights right now is $264. That should go down for a couple of weeks, but I'm hoping to get my ticket tomorrow night in case we're wrong about them going down. So $264 for that flight, and then it comes back on the 16th, the evening of the Sunday of Summit. That last travel day will come back that evening, and then I will drive back to the Minot area that night. So we'll get back in the middle of the night on Sunday night. So that's our plan now. Try to get there as cheap as possible, but anyone is on the fence about going to Summit, you really should. I think it's going to be a huge thing for your business. So
that's interesting, like what he said, like pictures and the videos of us being there shows why. And that would, I don't know, I put in the chat, yeah, Jen said yes, live events. Like Jen knows exactly, it was her coming to Super Saturday that made her realize she wanted to coach. And the energy was definitely similar at our last one. Like I had coaches who re-energized their coaching from that. I had discount coaches who say, oh, I want to do this now. I'm just not quite ready yet. But before this, I never saw myself doing it. So yeah, I would totally agree with that. The other Summit issue is like I'm hotel happy. We now have like 6 rooms at 2 different hotels. Just because I got looking like at the map and mapping out how far it was to the 2 different event centers. And the first hotel I have like 4 rooms at the Ace Hotel. And like they're like not like they're fine hotels. They're like rated 4 out of 5. And then I started wondering like, I wonder if I could still get a cheaper hotel, but at a better location. So Tyler and I were just like on Travelocity last night. And then I ended up getting 2 more hotels at the Wyndham, which is 2 blocks further from each event, but it's like $40 cheaper a night, and it's in the French Quarter. So like I just don't know what to do right now, but if right now there's a possibility of like 9 of us going, then 2 rooms really might not be enough. So then I'm like, well, I wonder if we could get a house. And so like I just searched like New Orleans houses for rent, and like I found a ton of like houses that sleep 8, 9, 10 people. So now I don't know what to do. I'm reading the chat. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. Doesn't matter. The only thing Tyler did say, like, at the hotel, you at least get a maid. I don't know. Location, rentals by owner. Yeah, that's what they were. I know, is that like a site? I don't know if that was the site, but I don't know. I mean, we're not really there very much, but whatever. I just think it's cool that there's enough of us that we could use a house. And I thought that would be like fun too. So I don't know. I'll just put some information either in the team page or in our Summit little thread we have going on. But I thought that was, I don't know, it's really cool to like watch your dreams come true. I don't know, it's crazy. So that brings us to Super Saturday, which I just went on the Beachbody site, is September 23rd. And we had talked, I don't know if it was at the last Super Saturday or how we got talking about it, but Sean T was in Minneapolis at the April Super Saturday. And so we had talked with some people about how Minneapolis, it would be a cool Super Saturday to go to get the feel of a corporate event for people who can't be at Summit or a Success Club trip. Because at those larger Super Saturdays, they bring in, well, usually they're run by a market council. So as opposed of like one coach hosting it or like one coach's team, like we did, it would be like all of the Star Diamonds or whatever in an area make up a market council, and they plan these events. And then they're guaranteed to be large numbers, so then they get corporate representation. And so I thought like Minneapolis would be one that would actually be doable for us, but it isn't registered yet. The closest one that is registered to North Dakota is Winnipeg, which would be perfect for like the Botno folks. I know that's like where a lot of people like fly out of. But so we can't like decide anything like whether we want to do it again in Minot, because I'm sure we would need to get Chris the day soon, because as long as we pay that fee, she will reserve the church for us so that like a funeral doesn't like go over Super Saturday, or if we want to decide to travel to a large one. But I don't want to go ahead and make that decision when there isn't one registered there. Like there's very few Super Saturdays that are registered. And one of them is like in Texas with Danielle Natoni, and she's just someone who's obviously going to be on the ball and probably registered it the day after the last one was over. So, yeah, I don't know if we do a vote or how we decide, but I think there is something to be said. Like I love our like small intimate ones, and I think it would just continue to grow in Minot. And I didn't even really, I mean, I ran it as a public event, but I didn't like publicize it on any like yard sale site or anything like there's other coaches in Minot. I just don't know them, to get them and their teams there. Or if we could make it like a big North Dakota event, but I just think there is something to be said about being somewhere big. I don't know. And like getting that energy and hearing from maybe a top coach or someone from corporate. So yeah, that's kind of what I had. But if we had time, I wanted to share either like a PD takeaway or like we did last week. Oh, and Tyler said he would drive the bus, and he was going to see like if the school would let us rent it. So we would just like all pile in. Be super fun. Pile in, hotel rooms, buses, whatever. Just get there. Sorry, Texas people, but maybe you could fly to Minneapolis. Okay, last week it really worked well, I think, when we shared like what was working, or even a PD takeaway. And I don't know, I just thought it brought like a lot of energy to our week and our call and everything. And so I'm kind of putting you on the spot because I didn't tell you to prepare for it, but you can just think, and if you want to share, you can. And I loved how Carolyn just went live on the team page and shared what was working for her and her coaches. You can do that too. I love seeing your guys' faces. So I'm going to share something that I listened to in Be Obsessed or Be Average, and I shared it with Stacy this week. And this is a bad time of the year, and anyone you talk to, all they say is like, I'm so busy, and I do it too. And this is the time of the year in the classroom where I was at my burnout limit. Like, all I wanted to do when the last day of school came was like run out the door and never come back. I was so burnt out. And this year it's so funny. Like I'm ready for summer because I'm ready to like have one-on-one parenting, and like we can like do this like discipline smackdown with our naughty boys. But I don't have that like feeling of being like so burnt out I can hardly go on, or all I can do is sleep, and all I want to do is like sleep for a month. And that is because of what Grant Cardone said here, and I want to share with you. And he says, burnout is a myth. Be obsessed with fulfilling your purpose. When you have purpose, there's no burnout. You can burn the candle at both ends and not burn out. Well, okay, you can burn at both ends and not burn out. You are not a candle. And he says like he's happiest when he's most productive, and he's not trying to find balance in his life because he's trying to create a life. I was like, whoa. That just proves that like I was doing the wrong thing. And when there's times where I think maybe I'm getting burnt out with coaching, it's because I'm doing the wrong thing. And if I stay obsessed with fulfilling my purpose and my passion, I can't be burnt out. So that's my takeaway. Anyone else want to go?
I'll go. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I was going to ask, for your July, the Beef Blossom Challenge group.
Yeah.
So are you tying in like the gifts of imperfection to the challenge group?
Yeah. No idea how. Just gonna.
Okay. Because I've been kind of debating with the idea of doing like a You Are a Badass challenge group or something, and like doing something like that, like how we did the energy bus, but tying it into a challenge group, and just as a way to get just a different type of engagement and a different type of people or something and stuff. So I was just kind of curious about.
Yeah, and the reason I decided to do that just because like of the theme, like embracing your flaws, and that's so hard for people who are aiming for perfection. And that book just helped me so much. And then in the last 2 weeks, I've gone live about imperfection, and I've had way more views on that and way more comments, and then people like inboxing me about it. And so I thought it might be, and it would be a way to like, we always tell people personal development is important, but it's not really part of our challenge group. We can't make them listen to it or read it, but we can integrate it. And I think Energy Bus would be a really fun one to do, and it would be easy because we have all the stuff already. But I was thinking like maybe fall for that one, kind of like, like people always need that restart come fall.
Yeah. Okay. I was just curious.
I think that would be a good one though. I wonder if Sarah Rice didn't do that. I know Brandy did too. So maybe they have stuff.
Okay.
Tyler, were you going to go?
I can do that. So if there was a recognition for the most PD done in a month, like there is for the most Success Club points, I'm pretty sure I'd be on the National Wake Up Call. But some of the things that I took away from all the PD that I've done is the why stuff. Mostly there's a video I just put on the team page. It's actually of Carl Deichler at some random regional event that he went to, just spending an hour fielding objections from the CEO of the company, listening to normal people say the same stuff they say to us. And one of the questions that they asked was their why, his why. Why does he do this? And it took him like 8 minutes to get to his point. Same thing. He couldn't put his words on it. How long has he been at this? I mean, he still couldn't do it. So your why takes a long time, and I would challenge all of you to sit down and even if you've done your why, either write it out or make a video of it, even if you never show anybody, because it takes a while to get to the why. So that's one thing that I saw. And then the other thing I want to share with those of you who have guys in your life who might be interested in what you're doing and all that. One of the other guys I follow, Scotty Hobbs, he was a top 10 coach for a while. He's big in the company, but he started something called Hey Bro. It's on his Facebook page, and it's about like the guys in the business. Not very long ago, the top 10 coaches, half were guys, half were girls, and the top coach was always a man until recently. So that the whole thing about guys can't do this is a myth, and he's trying to get guys back into doing this. So even if they don't want to do it, if they just want to learn more about it, it's every Saturday at 9:30, but obviously it's on his Facebook page after that, and that's called Hey Bro. It's kind of like the Hey Girl, but for guys. So I think that's all I had for that.
One of the books I'm reading that I know, Lindy, you've read, the Get Over Your Damn Self, that I've been trying to, is that it talks about like trying to tie the why stuff is like peeling the onion. So like, this is my why, but then I have to ask myself, why? And then keep asking. You get down to those. You might start with the superficial, I want to help people, but then why do you want to help people? Well, and kind of what does it all boil down to? So continuing to ask yourself those questions, and why do I want to do that? And why is important? And in 5 years, if I don't succeed, what will do? What would happen? And if I could, what would happen? And all that stuff. So it's been a good book to kind of get me I kind of just, I don't know, felt a little stuck this week. So it was a good book to kind of get me going. So.
Yeah, she's blunt. She gets you going.
Yeah. I did my homework. So I'm still working on it.
So I was kind of in the middle of, well, not in the middle. I was at the end of one book and I didn't finish before I started the other one. And so I kind of had two going at the same time, but I was finishing Grace, Not Perfection, and I'm doing The Gifts of Imperfection, but I just finished the end of that one. And I thought it was kind of fitting for our team, and this is kind of spiritual, so, but I'll just read it. Perspective is a game changer. Perspective is everything. I believe that God shapes our perspective to soften, strengthen, and bring peace to different parts of our hearts at different times. He guides our hearts to focus on one aspect of a situation for a bit and then refocus on another. It's like using a camera lens, and God gives us the ability to operate the camera. That focus shapes our attitude and ultimately impacts our people in immeasurable ways. Little ones learn from the ways we handle the ups and downs of our life. Our friends are discouraged or encouraged by our constant complaining or constant gratitude. We can choose whether to actively focus on tragedy or inadequacies or messes or our weaknesses or the weaknesses of other people. Or we can choose to focus on all that He's blessed us with, the big and obvious as well as the tiny, hidden pieces of goodness. So she just goes on to say that we can do these things even when things are hard. So like right now, I know a lot of us that have talked are struggling with a lot of no's, and when you hear that, it gets frustrating. But I guess it's all about perspective and how you look at it. It can either mean get you frustrated, or it can just mean no, not right now, and keep doing what you're doing. But it's funny because I get frustrated about it, but like Lindy always says, the work that you do now is going to pay off like 3 to 6 months down the road, which has always held true in my situation, in my experience. I've had people that have followed me for a year and then finally contact me and like, okay, I'm ready. So even though it feels like it's not worth it right now, it's worth it in the end.
There's so much trust that has to be built, one. And I have found like oftentimes, like I think teachers have the upper hand because they have trust established with a lot of people already. And that may be why like it seems easier in the beginning. But I've been told no a lot, and I've really been struggling pretty much like March through now. And it's all because of my time on the Ultimate Reset. Yeah, it was good for my own journey, but like I said, I was exhausted and I wasn't doing as much of the stuff as I usually did, and it's hindering me now. But I cannot wait for the end of the summer when all of the hard work I've done in April and May is going to be paying off. But people tell you no for a reason, and you have to be glad they tell you no. And I have a reason why tonight. I had someone who I'd been helping all year with free groups, support, motivation, check-ins. She wasn't a client of mine. I was working with her, trying to get her to commit to herself, and she wouldn't. And what's the difference between Herbalife? Explain to me again how. What's the difference between this shake? Explain to me how, but I love it, but it's way cheaper, blah, blah, blah. So I spent all this time going through things with her, and then all of a sudden, about 2 weeks ago, she posted a picture of the 21-day fix and a bag of Shakeology and tagged this other coach. Like, I'm so excited it's finally here. And I'm like, what? I was mad. I'm like, I have invited you to every free group. You've joined every free group. I've helped you. I've encouraged you. I have listened to you. I've checked in on you. Because I was just being there for her. And I just let it go. And then today I'm like, I felt on my heart to message her and wish her well on her journey. And I did. And we chatted back and forth, and it was just negative, tons of negative. I don't want to work out. I don't like working out. I can't get motivated to work out. I hate Shakeology. This is why I hate it. Blah. And I just like responded back really positively. Like, you're not going to be motivated every day. Hence my live video. Hopefully your coach has a group you can pop you into that you'll seek some motivation from. And just do it, I said. Just go do it right now. And of course, Shakeology is going to taste different to you if you were drinking Herbalife. That's full of a bunch of nasty stuff that makes it taste wonderful, but It's not good for you. This is whole foods, no isolates, blah, blah, blah. Give it a chance. Vanilla is my favorite flavor. Used to hate it. Here's one recipe. Just like showing her, like, I care for you. I don't care that you're my client. I'm not trying to make a sale. Just good luck. Wished her well. Like, just getting ready for bedtime routine. She messages me. I can't get a hold of my lady. I can't get my workout to work. Just like mad. What do I do? And so I'm like, I don't know. So she sends me a video. And I have like kids who need to get in the bathtub, husband that's not home. I'm like, whatever. Like, I need to get the kids in the bath. I'll answer her question. Found the fact on how to troubleshoot BOD, sent it to her. More negativity. This went on all night. Like, I just quit responding. Like, I don't need someone like that in my life. Like, she needs me, but she does not want what I'm selling. And I'm not talking about Shakeology or the 21-day fix. She does not want my positivity. And then at the end, I messaged her back. I'm like, sorry, I was doing bedtime. I hope you got it to work. And she messaged me back. She's like, I am just ready to quit Beachbody. This is nothing but a joke, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just going to quit. And I said, if some people make mistakes, things go wrong, passwords don't work, don't let that affect you being on a wonderful life and health journey, and I just ended it like, good luck. Your coach will be able to help you. Like, we are not at people's like beck and call. Like, I was getting my kids to bed and I'm sure her coach was too, but that no was a yes. We don't need that. And so like, just no's are okay. And that was like a huge eye opener for me tonight. That's all. Like, so just think about that person that's telling you no. It's either not right for them or it's not right for you. And she is not my tribe. Anyone have any other gems to share? Good to see Amanda. She's going to run a half in September. We're going to hold her to it, right?
Here. Hey, how's it going?
Good to see
Missed you guys. Good to see you too.
Last year, Amanda and Gretchen and I ran a 5K and I couldn't walk for a week.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that part.
Well, we're going to get cut off, but thanks, everyone. I love hearing your little professional development takeaways and seeing your faces, and I'm super excited to see some of you in a couple of months, and I hope we can get some events going here locally. So have a great week. Everyone smile. Love you all.